Hey everybody, my name's Oli Cardall. I'm a Freeletics ambassador from the UK.
And this is Angelo, Freeletics ambassador from United States of America.
Welcome to the Shaped by Gods podcast.
Five, four, three, two, one, go.
Okay, welcome everybody to the first episode of the Shaped by Gods podcast. This is the very, very first episode. We are recording on a Monday of all days. We like to get to work early on a Monday, don't we? Don't we, my friend?
I don't know,
You don't know. You do. You
but
get up earlier.
we have to start the day with a workout. That's for sure.
We do. Well, we'll get to that at some point, but we have a little bit of a time difference thing, don't we? So you do your workout with the group that we have first thing in the morning, whereas for me
Yep.
it's afternoon time. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon for me.
8
So there
a.m.
is a difference.
8 a.m. Eastern time of United States.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about our workouts then. So we met through a workout called Freeletics. It's a body weight. It was a body weight only
Yeah,
app, but now they've expanded and now it's encompassing all kinds of different
almost everything.
movements, almost everything. And I think that is the goal. I think the goal is to include everything so that we can include everyone, don't you think?
That's correct. You have to get all the range of athletes. Many athletes they just don't do any body weight, or maybe they don't like just body weight. So they're using jump ropes, pull-up bars, rings, or boxes, or weights. Kettlebells, anything.
Absolutely. I think
And we
I
have to
think
include everybody.
we do. That is a massive part of what Freeletics is. It's inclusion. It's making sure that everybody, no matter what level they are at fitness-wise, can do the same programs because it is adaptable.
Hmm.
You got the artificial intelligence coach, which adapts to every individual's different levels. Whatever you feedback from your last workout, that will affect your next workout. Uh,
Yep. Not
um,
forget to
so
mention. I
yeah,
think
we
it's
both we
the best artificial intelligence, right? In the market at the moment. Freeletics,
absolutely
they're the best community, of course.
yes, and that's not biased. That's not biased at all. It's
Yes, that's the truth. That's the truth.
it genuinely is. It
It
genuinely is
is.
the best. I mean, well, they started the whole thing off the artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
They really kick-started it. I think 7 years ago now.
Mm,
7 years.
70,
You
7 years
started from the
ago,
very start. Is that right?
it was, yeah, 7.5. It was just the app. The artificial intelligence came a little bit later.
Hmm.
First, it was just the gut workouts and the exercises. And
Right.
then, when Freeletics grew a little bit and, of course, made some profit from everything, they had the time and of course budget to invest on the AI, and then the whole game changed,
That's
and
right.
it's unbelievable. Like they improved the AI so many times, and especially I think it was a year or 2 years ago they made like a huge improvement on the AI, and they got them top top in the market. Uh, how it's adjusting to every athlete, no matter the weight, the height, your habits, the skills, anything. It's
Yeah,
adjusting just specifically to you.
that's right. And I think you touched on something quite important there, where you said that the budget increased. Obviously, it was a progression. So they started, and
Of course.
what they started with, the core principles of Freeletics is still the same now. And I think that is where it really took off for them. I think it was the fact that anyone can do it. Anyone can do it at home. You are your own inspiration, your own motivation. You're only
Hmm.
in competition with yourself.
Hmm.
And I like the idea of from the start because it's nearly 6.5 years for me. Yours is over 7 years now. Is that right?
So yeah, 7.5, 7 and 4 months.
7 and 4 months. So I was 6 and 4 months. So I think
Yeah.
at the start, the idea that there were people all over the world behind locked doors secretly addressing something they've obviously identified that they weren't happy with in themselves. That whether it wasn't even necessarily just that. There were obviously people that were already in the fitness game that were trying to get in better shape. But for me, I wasn't happy with the way things were going fitness wise. I'd stopped exercising, and I found something. And the idea that people were behind locked doors, secretly turning their lives around and learning
Mm.
something about themselves, that really inspired me.
Yeah.
So the progression from there, obviously that took off, and the core values are still the same, but they have invested at every stage in the process to make it bigger and better for everyone that's taking part. So
Hmm.
I think the natural progression was obviously, I mean, it felt like it was always going to get this big, and it's
Yeah.
huge. It's huge, over 40 million users worldwide,
Yeah.
and
That's
they're all.
insane.
It's incredible, and the best thing, as much as the community is another big selling point, because they've had the community from day one. That's another thing that sets them apart from anything I think that I've
You know,
experienced. Is
everyone is talking about the community for other bigger, you know, the biggest brands out there before Freeletics becomes the biggest community. Many people are using other brands, other apps. They're talking about the Freeletics community, how, you know, the comments that we're giving to each other is just so unique, and so warm, you know, like, because you know the struggle, because Freeletics is not something easy. Of course, nothing
yeah,
is easy, you know. When you want to achieve greatness, is there's no easy step. So you have to get familiar with the discomfort, the pain, the struggle, the sweat, you know, like the sadness, everything, and you have to go through it. And Freeletics is, that's how you achieve greatness. So that everybody says outside of Freeletics, Freeletics has a unique community, because we know the struggle. And if
yeah,
I see you completing a workout, I know what you went through to complete it. And you know, there's the clap we're doing to each other, the comments, the motivation we keep giving. And there's no in other no in other brands or other apps, because other apps, they just have specific workouts, let's
hmm,
say, for everybody. But there is no the mindset of Freeletics. Like, the mindset of Freeletics is you versus you since
yeah,
day one.
yeah,
And that's what got me in Freeletics seven and a
yeah,
half years ago, when I got the workout, the Aphrodite. It was my first workout. So I made it in like 46 minutes, my first one. And I was just like 15 minutes after that on the floor, you know, trying to catch my breath and
yeah,
recover and remember where I am. You know, I forgot even my name, and it was crazy. But the thing is, when you're doing the second time the workout, uh, and you have to chase your time, is no matter who's next to you, you know, family, friends, or anybody, you have to chase yourself, you know. You have
hmm,
to be you against you. You have to beat that record, and you have to struggle more than the last time. You have to struggle more than your
yeah,
previous Angelo, let's say. So at that moment, it's like Angelo versus Angelo, and who does faster the burpees, who does faster the squats. And you you know, you have to achieve the greatness through your own self.
yeah, absolutely. And I think with that as well is, like you say, you are in competition with yourself from day one.
Hmm.
But I think something that has a development in Freeletics now, especially with the community and the groups, is that all of a sudden it's not you against you, it's us against you. You know,
Yeah.
you've got a
Hmm.
group of people that are there
Very
cheering
true.
you on and motivating you to beat what you've already done. And the good thing about Freeletics is you can see that progress, and you can see
Hmm.
development, whether or not you can see. I mean, it can be workout to workout. So if you do, say you did Aphrodite, and then you did that and it was horrible, that was the first workout you ever did and it was an absolute nightmare. But the next time you do it, you've got that experience in your head. You know, right, I know what it takes to get through this, and I
Hmm.
know I can attack it. I think it's the same. I can equate it to, you know, if you go on a journey, you're going on a trip somewhere.
Yeah.
The journey from home to the destination, if you've never been there before, seems to be a really long journey, because you don't know where you're going, and you don't know where you don't know where the end destination is. So it seems to go on forever. but the journey home seems real quick because there's that familiarity there. You've traveled that road before,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
albeit in the other direction. It just seems to fly by. So it's that experience with every workout, and you become familiar. And the way, now, for those who don't know, the Freeletics workouts, initially they were a handful of workouts, but they've always been named after various Greek or mythological gods. So you are going into battle each time against a god. So you develop a familiarity with that workout. That workout takes on a personality. So if I was to say to you, okay, you got Hades next. Hades,
Yeah.
god of the underworld. You know exactly what's coming. That was my first workout, but you know what's coming with Hades. Like Aphrodite for you is yours.
Yeah.
If you mentioned Aphrodite to someone who didn't know anything about Freeletics, they would think of the goddess of beauty and love.
God of beauty and love. Yeah.
Whereas if I say Aphrodite to you, you get
I don't,
you
I
get a
don't think
cold
you look.
sweat.
I don't think you look so beautiful after you've done it. You know. Yeah.
No. I say the word Aphrodite, and you get dread and fear running up through
Oh,
your spine, and
nightmare,
it's
man!
like, yeah, let's
Nightmare.
go. Yeah,
Every single time.
so they do take on a personality, and it's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, everyone's got their own biggest nemesis in Freeletics. Mine
Mm-hmm.
was always. I mean, they've had Freeletics gods in the past that they've removed from the app, and some of those
Yeah.
are legendary amongst the original Freeletics members because we still talk about them now. Can you remember? What was it now? You got Helios. Is Helios still on there?
Helios, yeah, it's still there.
Helios
Yeah,
is still on
but
there, but
the
still, that's a
one
legendary.
the one they took off is Thanatos.
Yeah, so they removed a lot of the some of the old gods, but they're still spoken about now. As it's like folklore. You're listening to the Shaped by Gods podcast. Okay,
I'm
Angelo,
ready.
my friend. Angelo,
Yes, my friend Oli.
why Freeletics? What lured you to Freeletics? How did you start your journey?
Why Freeletics? We can start now, and I can finish next year. So we have time, I think. So Freeletics, I was 7.5 years ago. I was here in the United States, came from Greece, and I got introduced to a different kind of foods and all this kind of stuff. And I was very, I got passionate with the new food, burgers and pizzas and fried food and hot dogs and all this kind of stuff, and watching games and eating fries and going crazy, out of control. So
The
I got
American dream.
exactly. So I got overweight. Zero before, even before that, I had zero experience with workouts or fitness or anything. I was skinny most of it of my life, but before I come to the States, I got overweight, and I didn't play any sports. Wasn't active. Nothing was going on. Nothing much. So pretty much overweight, zero fitness, zero experience, nothing. And I got enough. So I said one day, that's enough. I was going up the stairs and I was trying to catch my breath, or I had to run a little bit with my friends, play a basketball game. In the first 5 minutes, I was on the floor.
Wow.
I couldn't keep up. So I saw the problem right in my face, and that was me. My habits, whatever I was eating, the time I never spent to become more fit, and all this kind of stuff. So I looked for something that was about to change my life. I looked Nike. I looked other apps for fitness and all this kind of stuff. But back then it was Freeletics. It was a very brand new app. I didn't know I was brand new. So I found Freeletics and I read it a little bit, the description, got workouts and exercises. And at one point it was saying like you against yourself. So that thing, clicked in my mind because I already blamed myself of being overweight and not fit and not being able to run or eating bad and all this kind of stuff. So I say, okay, that's good. You know, I want to be against myself. I just want to improve myself for myself because of myself. And that's how I started. My first workout was actually before my first workout. I did my first exercise. They used to call it back then push-up max. So you were trying to do as many push-ups as you can, and then you would just record it, and then it was a God workout with the name Aphrodite. For the people that don't know, it's you start with 50 burpees, you go to 50 squats and 50 sit-ups, and then you go 40 40 40 30 30 30 until 10. So it's total 5 rounds, 150 each total. And
You know it
I did
well.
it. I didn't know anything, I just I
You
was
know it now.
I was a fool back then. I didn't know. I just pressed start in the very first 2 seconds. I said, let me do it. And I did it in 46 minutes. I was 50 minutes on the floor after. And I say, oh my God, I'm so out of shape. I was so bad, I wanted to puke. I was dizzy. I was shaking. I was scared. It was a nightmare, And then I tried again.
Yeah.
I said, that's good. I loved it. I loved the challenge.
You had your initial wake up call was a mental one. It was a decision, and then Aphrodite gave you a physical wake up call. It almost allowed you to gauge exactly the damage you've done. Yeah.
Because Freeletics, the God workouts are there to show you like whichever God workout you choose is gonna show you who you are, where you are, and how far you can go. Every single God workout. So Aphrodite showed me like I'm very bad in stamina and endurance, and especially on legs, squats that killed me. I was so sore. Sit-ups, my abs were so sore. Burpees, my upper body was so sore, like I couldn't even keep going. So it showed me who I am at this point. So it was me against myself. I had to push myself. I did the workout, and then I got the results: the pain, the struggle, the sweat, the discomfort, and Freeletics was a wake-up call, and I said, yeah, that's it. So that's how I kept going with Freeletics, because it was a kick on the face, and it was a true kick in the face. It's not like a friend of yours comes next to you, you're like, you're a little overweight, man. Yeah, you have to improve your diet. No, Freeletics is over there to tell you, no, you have to improve. You're very bad at this. You have to improve. And then I did it again, and I did it again, and I did it again, and until I dropped the 46 minutes, I dropped it to 33 minutes, and I saw like a 13 minutes, difference. Improvement, exactly, improvement. And I remember one night sitting on my couch, and thinking about my workouts and everything, and I was thinking the difference between 46 and 33 and 13 minutes, and I was thinking me finishing on 33 minutes, and I was imagining myself keep going for another 13 minutes. And I saw these 13 minutes, it's a huge time. Like, it's like forever. And this improvement, like for somebody's gonna say, yeah, it's just 13 minutes, man. You just, okay, I run from here to Boston, let's say, and then you come in 13 minutes after. 13 minutes can seem like forever to someone. So that's how I started, and I love it since then, because it changes my mindset, because it's not you against the government, it's not you against the environment, it's not you against the negative relatives, it's not you against the negative friends, or however, how many hours you sleep, what you eat. It's you against you, and it's going to be always and forever you against you. And how far you go is how far you push yourself to go.
Exactly. I think that's a good list, actually, you just said. I think it's a battle, because it's you against you. It's a battle you can win, and you can win it every time. Whether or not your time improves, you've won that battle in your head. Because you turned up, you showed up that day. I think it's interesting where you said your reaction to that first workout. For me, it can go one of two ways. I think that either, and I think this separates certain people from others. I think that can either make you say, right, okay, that was horrible, that's the worst thing I've ever done. You either go, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
Or you say, okay, I need to get to work. And then I think there's two different mindsets there instantly. And for those who say that was horrible, I don't ever want to do that again, but they do it again and they improve. That for me is what it's all about. That's what Freeletics is all about for me. Is that it's getting that wake up call and then acting on it every single time. Because there's this false idea that people that have been doing this for a long time and are able to do really quick times and they can do 25 burpees in a minute, that they love it. They love doing it. There's a false impression, but we don't love doing it. We just love the result afterwards and the feeling afterwards of having taken on something that before you even start is going to be horrible. It's going to be hard. And I think that's the difference. Yeah,
that's very true. Is the outcome you're getting from it, like when you cook, it gets time, it needs effort, you need to peel the ingredients, you need to cut the ingredients, you need to mix them up on the right way and all this kind of stuff. Some people that might love it, of course they love to cook, but some people, let's say if you cook enough, let's say you're a parent, a father or a mother, and you have to cook every single day for you and your family, at one point you're getting tired, let's say, but when you have the food on the plate, man, it's something unbelievable. You eat the food like in a matter of a minute. So it's the same thing with the workout. Maybe you're getting tired of doing the workout, you don't like to do the workout, but at the end of it, when you see your personal best, you were faster than your previous record and all this kind of stuff, you say, man, that was worth every single second.
Absolutely. And the other thing about that is, if you get bored of cooking and you get bored of that whole process, you don't stop cooking.
Yeah,
you still cook because you want to eat.
Yeah,
it's the same with fitness. If you don't like the process but you like the reward, you don't stop the exercise. If you stop the exercise, then that's when bad things happen. If you stop the exercise, that's a good comparison.
That should be a very nice comparison for the people, if like a mandatory comparison, like a lifetime for everybody. They have to teach it probably in school. This exercise is like food. If you stop it, you're going bad. If you stop food, you're probably gonna die. Probably you're eventually gonna die. So same thing with the exercise. All the problems that you're getting when you stop exercising, like overweight, you're getting more often sick. You don't feel well. You're losing your confidence. You don't have the same attraction to the other gender, right? Like if you're a male, females are gonna look you a different way. If you're a female, men, they're gonna look you a different way. You're losing so many things. You don't die, but you bring so many other bad stuff.
Not straight away, you don't die. Not straight away, you don't die. But then, as well with the food thing, it's got to be good food. It can't all be. It's not just food, and it's not just exercise, because some exercise isn't as beneficial as others. Obviously, I mean, what you could consider exercise. It's good to do all exercise, or at least some exercise, but some yields better results than others. Obviously,
it's
the same as food. Obviously, you've got to eat to stay alive. Yeah, awesome. That's a good start, man. Aphrodite for your first ever workout.
Beast. Insane.
Beast mode. Was that your first introduction to burpees?
Oh man, that was my first introduction to everything. To everything.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was burpee. I was looking at the tutorial, the video, how to do burpees and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, okay, it looks okay. Yeah, just go on the floor and come back, whatever. But you have to do 50 for the beginning, and it was pretty much disaster. And I'm glad it was a disaster, because that day I smashed my old self into pieces and never came back again, because that was a bad Angelo, and that Angelo won't come back again. And I'm glad. I say goodbye to this old friend, and that's it. We separate our ways, and he can keep eating pizzas. But
Yeah, you might meet him again when you're old and retired.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll get
Probably, maybe.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, when all this fitness stuff passes, when we're like 80 years old and we want to have a pizza every day.
Yeah, I can imagine 80 years old and try to do Aphrodite.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be
No,
my last
no.
one.
That's when you're allowed to choose the pizza, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you might be able to. You never know. This is
Yeah, you never know.
this is another thing. We're building for the future, man. We're building for the
Hmm.
future. My whole point of doing this is so I can stay as young as I can for my children. I've got children, so
Exactly.
I don't want to be that dad who can't keep up. He
Yeah.
can't, he can't pick his kids up or run around and mess about for as long as I can. So,
Yeah.
if it means banging out some burpees when you're 80 years old, then I'm
Hmm.
all in. I'm all in. Yeah,
Yeah. Very
awesome.
true.
My first workout was Hades, and I think
Ooh.
that was a bad move. A similar story to yours actually, but
Yeah.
I
Why
used
was it bad move for you? Like,
because it was
what the workout
Hades.
brought?
Dear, it's so I'm going to do a very short introduction to my beginnings in the freeletics world. So
Yeah.
I used to play sport. I used to play football. My diet was awful. It was never paid attention. It was just quick and easy food. It was bad. It was like I had the diet of a 6-year-old. So I had my first daughter. That's where it all started for me. I had my daughter, and then I became dad first, and anything else a very distant second. So I was still working, but I dedicated all my time to my daughter, and I stopped playing football and things like that, which was a choice I made. I wasn't forced to do that. It was a choice I made. I became a dad, a family man, and then a year and a half later, maybe I thought, okay, I'm not in as good shape as do you know what, it might even have been a social thing. I decided to try and go and play football for a local football team because I'd moved out to a small village,
Hmm.
and I didn't have contact with my friends as much because I didn't drive at the time. So I thought I'd try out for the local football team, and that was my slap in the face. Before Freeletics, that was my first face slap. Was how terribly out of shape I was for football. And it caused me to look at myself and see the damage I'd done. And now, before, I wasn't athletic necessarily. I was very, very skinny before, but I was fit. I could run around for as long as I wanted to. But I needed something else. I'd gotten so out of shape, and I was not happy. I was overweight. I was physically, I couldn't walk very far without
Yeah.
getting a
Yeah.
sweat on.
No, I
So
believe.
I started looking for something, and now what I wanted was something that I didn't have to leave. I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't want to have to leave. Like I said, I was a family man. I wanted to stay at home as much as I can and be there. I didn't want to end up spending 2 hours every other night in the gym. I wanted something I could do at home, and I found Freeletics. I was a year after you, I think.
Hmm.
So 6 years ago, 6 years, 4 months. I needed something that I could do at home. I didn't have the confidence to go into a gym. Um, I also needed something that I would be able to engage in, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I think by the time I found Freeletics, there were YouTube videos of transformations and things like that.
Hmm.
They had a few specific free athletes that had been through a transformation using Freeletics, and the videos were just cool to me. They had epic music. It showed their journey, their start, and where they were now. And for me, that was, it physically showed me what I wanted to achieve myself, and it was them working out on their own. Like you
Yeah.
said, it's you against you. They were working out at home on their own, and they were getting it done behind closed doors, and they were fixing something they'd identified that they weren't happy with, and that was where I was. So I chose Hades, and I don't know if that's because it was a cool name. I'd never done a pull-up before. Hades consists of burpees, pull-ups, push-ups, and sprints.
Burpees.
Burpees. The
Burpees
introduction
again.
to burpees. Yeah, I got through the first round. So it was, I think the first round, it starts with 25 burpees.
Hmm.
Um, and then it's moves on to 15 pull-ups, and
15
then
pull-ups, yeah.
15 push-ups, and then it's got another 25 burpees, and then a sprint.
Yeah, push-ups too. Pull-ups, push-ups.
Pull-ups, push-ups, and then a 2 times 40-meter sprint
Yeah,
after the
you have to
second
run away from the burpees.
That's right. So there was what was it, a total of 150 burpees, is that right? Anyway,
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
I,
Yeah, that's correct.
I got through round one, like secretly doing it in the hallway, and I went into the lounge and sat down on the sofa next to my partner, and I said, this is impossible. People can't do this. This isn't something humans can do. I was just convinced, and I was ready to quit. And then that's when I had my moment. That's when I had the Freeletics voice in my head that said, no, you're going to do this. You're going to get up. You're going to finish this, even if it takes you all night. And I did. I was desperately pulling myself up one rep at a time. And I was probably quite fortunate, because a lot of people with pull-ups, if they've never done one, they can't do one. So I was quite lucky in that I was able to get above the bar. My form, I know for a fact now that my form must have been awful, but at the time it was right. I'm going to get this done if it kills me, and it nearly killed me, but I did it. I got it done. It took me around 45 minutes to an hour, something like that, and that was what triggered that moment in your head where you've done that. You wanted to quit. You were convinced that you were going to quit. You didn't quit. You did it. And that moment in my life, I have used that constantly ever since. Any sort of adversity or any difficult situations I've been in, I have reverted back to that. If there's something where you say, well, no, it's just a case of getting it done. It's going to be hard. It's going to be horrible. This isn't comfortable right now, but you're going to do it, and you're going to finish it, and that's going to be you. And that was my Freeletics intro. And again, the same as you. And I think we might find a running theme with people we speak to during this podcast. It might be a running theme, awesome. that decision where you do it. It was hard. You either go, all right, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get better and better and better, or you're going to go, that was too hard for me, I'm going to quit. So I think that is the difference between different people.
It's the moment you're getting the thought of to yourself. You say, I had enough. I had enough, and I need something that's gonna change me. Something's gonna make me better, and that enough. Freeletics, it gives you the answer by challenging you, by giving you a challenge, and it shows you the way that through discomfort is the way. Like there's no other way. Okay, you're cutting, let's say, the bad food or whatever, but nothing is gonna come. Nothing's gonna knock your door and it's gonna say, here where we are, And like you do Hades and Aphrodite, and many people, who listening right now try different kind of workouts, and they had the first workout, or they might have the first workout, and they don't know which one to choose. Just find your challenge, whoever
find your challenge.
Whoever the first god is going to be a challenge, and it's going to change you forever.
Everybody remembers their first Freeletics workout. I think we're quite lucky, really, because it has adapted, it has changed. So now Freeletics has got, as well as the God workouts, when you get the coach, you've got intervals, you've got progression work, so you could be working on isolated movements like pistol squats and things like that. So I think we are a lucky generation of free athletes. And now free athletes, we haven't mentioned free athletes. That's what we are. Free athletes is what we call ourselves collectively. If you are a Freeletics member who actively does Freeletics workouts, you are a free athlete, whether you like it or not. I think we are of a generation now where our first memory of Freeletics is a God workout. So you remember that. You remember my first Freeletics workout was Hades or Aphrodite. Now I think there's a chance that the newcomers, perhaps they might get broken in a little bit with a few intervals or a 2/3 of a God workout, So I think I think
it's something challenging.
It absolutely is. And obviously once you get through that initial, because there's a test that you get run through, you get put through your paces. Every Freeletics journey, you start with a week of coach. Pretty much he's just sizing you up, seeing where your levels are, so we can start you at the right level. So I think everyone's got to get through that first. Okay, I think that about wraps it up for episode 1 of the Shaped by Gods podcast. Thank you so much, Angelo, for your insight today.
Thank you, Oli.
No problem, my friend. We're going to have so much more. We've got endless amounts of topics to talk about. We're going to get into mindset. We're going to get into the group mentality. We're going to get into the Freeletics communities, more about the app itself, and
live workouts.
Absolutely, live workouts. It's endless. We've got so much more to share. I hope you've enjoyed this first episode. Be sure to tune in next time for more Shaped by Gods podcast. Thank you, Angelo.
Yep. Thank you, Oli, and thank you everyone that is listening and spend the time to get more insight into Freeletics and experiences from us, from our past and how we started. And more things to come. I'm excited. Yeah, bring it.
Oh yes, very excited. We've done us. Now it's over to you. We're going to be talking about you.